All right. Good evening, afternoon. I think
I'm
we
really looking forward to this.
left off with Mishlei 1:5 and 1:6. We kind of exploded that with Navon.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I don't know if
But we're done. Wait, hold on. We're done with Mishlei Lehavin.
Got it.
So, what's the next on the list?
I think we want to stick with. Did you want to stick with Mishlei?
No, we're done with Mishlei.
Okay, because we had 18, 15, and 10, 13 in Mishlei as stops as well.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. Why not? All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Opa. Let's do it. You never know. Wait, give me the first one to go.
If we're going in order.
Yeah, just go in order.
Mishlei 10, 13.
Okay, now why did I mark this page right here? I don't think that's accurate. No, there's no reason to mark that. Okay, 10, 13. All right. What is this? Let's say Navon. This is our Navon. Timatze chochma v'shevet lego chaser lev. I'm in the wrong book. I don't want to use the Vilna Gaon just yet. I want to use the Mikros Gedolos. All right, so Brian, get ready to give us into the English. Hold on. Where's my Mikros Gedolos? All right, go ahead and bring us into the Anglit. Hold on. And go slow and start with 11. Yeah. You can go ahead and stop with 13.
What verses were those again, Rev Cats? I'm sorry.
11 and 12 and 13.
11, 12, 13. Got it.
Go slow.
11. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence.
Okay.
Hatred arouses quarrels, but love covers all transgressions.
Hold on. Okay, keep going.
13. Wisdom is found in the lips of the understanding.
Oh, nice. Yeah, keep going.
But a rod is for the body of one devoid of sense. Wow.
Rod. What is lagav? Lagave. What is that word lagave? Say the last part again about the rod.
He says, but a rod is for the body of one devoid of sense.
Yeah, we need to find out what lagave is.
That's weird.
You're calling it a body, but I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
Sifvase de suchlosana tishkach, yeah. Chokmasa, yeah. Shivta lefigra de choser ra'ina. All right, lefigra. Here we go. Let the games begin. Let the games begin. Here we go. Anybody know what a lefigra is? Hold on. Let's see here. I think we can go in this dictionary for this one. All right. I think it would be over the top if I bought like 5 stenders for my office. Sometimes I'm tempted. All right. We gotta find out what gave is. I'm not convinced, Brian, that you're translating it correctly. I'm not blaming you. Blaming the culprit English. Anglit. Okay, he says look up Gavoa. Let's see, Gave. Now he's here. Hold on. He wants to say, how's our Nekudot? Gave. Gave. Midst, interior, middle. Well, there's a lot of words here. See, this is Gear 101. You follow? There's a small word that has a billion translations. You know, King James, whatever you're reading, is going to say it's body. And then the Noahide world is going to say, no, it's body. I know it. I read it 5 times. My rabbi told me. And this drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Back, cast behind the back. Like put out of mind or ignore. Unused. Lashed. Midst. And they're so like from the midst of men they are driven. What a weird word. It comes out from the back. Body is givaya or corpse. But then also it's saying to look at Gimel Aleph Hey. Let's see what that is. I'll look there in a second. Hold on. Something just tells me that we're going to go slow tonight. There's something big coming down. That's why you got to go slow. Rise up. Boastful or proud. Proud. So to rise up, I'm guessing it's kind of like the connotation from the back. You know, how do you rise up? You guys, Brian or John, you guys ever watch NASCAR with Tony Stewart when he won back in 2010 or 11? Remember that, Brian, when he was when he won the final race, he came back from the back of the pack twice in that race. Do you remember that? So the idea is that how do you rise up if not coming from the back? Who's this? Oh, Lars, good to see you. You're just in time. See, I'm thinking that back is not the bodily back. I'm thinking it's like the continent, you know, like coming from the back of the pack. In terms of the corpse thing, living human body, dead body, or corpse. Why is that called back? That's a good question. I'm not sure. Where's your... 1 second. We're going to look in the Aramaic now. Figra. 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 Fig. Fig. Figra. Fig. Raw, fig, raw, fig, raw, fig, raw, fig, raw. Okay, it's now it's fig, raw. Fig, raw, fig, raw. All right, so fig, raw is damage, indemnity for a shipwreck, a body. Lax, decaying corpse. How do you get back from that? You guys get, you see any takers? Like coming back from the back of the pack, how do you get a decaying corpse out of that? That's interesting. I'm not sure. Man, I know that King David says that like people that have no spirituality are like the dead ones. So they're kind of like in the back of the pack. Let's see what Solomon's going to do here. A corpse would lay flat on the back. True. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of ways this can go. All right, so now let's put it together. Now that we understand Legave, let's put this together, yeah? Besifsei Navon timatse chochma. In the lips of the Navon. Remember Navon? Navon is the guy who already knows what to look for, and then he has the revelation. He's gonna find it. So it's in the lips. Besifsei Navon timatse chochma. You'll find wisdom. I don't know. I'm just feeling the need to really expound on this tonight. Any idea? You guys feel where I'm taking this? Any takers on this? Well, here, you're about to find out. Brian, please get Malachi open. And I want to look up Job next. So something tells me I want to really do this verse right. I don't know why. I don't know why. Malachi and chapter 3. Chapter 2, verse 4 through 7. Go ahead. Malachi 4 through 7.
Got it. This is from Chabad. And you shall know that I have sent you this commandment, that my covenant be with Levi, says the Lord of hosts. My covenant was with him, life and peace, and I gave them to him with fear. And he feared me, and because of my name, he was overawed. True teaching was in his mouth, and justice was not found on his lips. In peace and equity he went with me, and he brought back many from iniquity. Verse 7, for a priest's lips shall guard knowledge, and teaching should be sought from his mouth. For he is a messenger of the Lord of hosts.
That sounds about apropos, doesn't it?
I like that.
Yeah, that's really on the spot. You know, if you look in Moses' blessings for the tribe of Levi, that's it, to teach them mishpatim. And here the words for true teaching is Torat Emet. It actually says that, Torat Emet, Torah, the true Torah. So I think this. Wait, also read verse 8. Sorry, go ahead and read also 8.
Verse 8, but you have turned aside from the way. You caused many to stumble in the Torah. You corrupted the covenant of the Levites, said the Lord of hosts.
Yeah, that's in reference to. Now, where's this verse in Job?
Job 10:16 uses Gimel Aleph Hey Ge'ah as increase. But I just wanted to take a quick look at that.
Wait, 10 what?
10:16.
And this is from Chabad? Chabad said that?
Actually, I'm reading this from King James.
I forget that. They're using the Gimel Aleph Hey.
This is King.
I want to go there.
This is King Jimmy.
Yeah. All right, let's go into Besifsei Navon timatse chochma. All right, have in mind I feel something big's coming out. I don't know what, but I can just kind of sense it. So keep in mind Malachi. I have my tool here. Where did I put it? Keep in mind Malachi, all right, the Cohen and the whole thing. And by the way, that Cohen in Malachi is thought to be the spoken about Cohen Sedek, which Cohen Sedek, as we know in Sukkah 52b, is Shem. So that Torah Emet is the Torah of Shem. So we're really getting on Torah Shem terms over here, and that's right where we picked up from last time. So I'm hoping it comes through. So that's what it means. Besifsei Navon Timatzei Chachma. That in the lips of the Navon, that's Shem and Joseph. Really, you'll find the wisdom. And this is Torah Shem 101 here. I think we're going to find something really big here. I really, truly do. V'shevet legav chaser leiv. And the rod legav. That's weird. V'shevet legav. Read that again, Brian. Maybe now I understand a little bit more of the context. Maybe it'll make sense.
What verse are you reading right now?
Just 13 from the word the scepter or rod.
We're back in Mishlei?
Yeah. Just the part for the scepter or the rod after wisdom.
Okay. But a rod is for the body of one devoid of sense.
Okay, now I'm seeing it. V'shevet rod is for the body. Wow, that's really potent right there. He's saying, the Shevet. If basically, imagine if Shem is talking to you. If you're gonna read in his lips, you'll find wisdom. If you're not a Navon, it is a rod. And that rod gave. Yeah, you're dead. Okay, that's it. Right? It's a chastisement of someone who's just, he's dead, he's out of the group, out of the loop, back of the pack, right? It's all those things. Laying on his back, it's inappropriate, it's all these things. Chaser leiv, that his heart is lacking. They call that Ben Adam. I don't know if you guys followed my Wisdom of the Prophets with Ira. It's Ben Adam. He's lacking. He's not a refined person. Whatever it is, he is not ready for the Navon. He doesn't know enough, hasn't been around enough. He's a zombie. He's not educated. Read in your own time. I don't know if you want to bring it up, but 88:6 in Psalms. I don't know if you want to write that down in the chat window. King David speaks about this in Psalm 88:6. Somebody can post that verse in the chat window. Psalms 88:6. King David talks about these people. So now we got the verse. Let's go in the commentary. All right. Besif vase disuchlasana. I know we've translated this word a billion times. This is like superhero Joseph, but I like to look it up each time. All right, suchal. Remember this word? This is like, and there's so many words they use here. I can't remember them all. But it's like amazing words. Psalm 88:6, yeah. Sachla. I'm going slow on purpose, just so you know. I think we're going to set something up really nice here. Be bright, look at, observe, to reflect, keep in mind, see clearly, sensible, become wise, explain, give to understand, look at, reflect, become wise. To become confused, now you can understand that. Wow, look at this. So to become confused. If you're a Navon, you get the insight. If you're not a Navon, you get the scepter, the Shevet. Right? It's that simple. Shem, I hate to say this, chas v'sholom, but have you ever seen anyone get more abused than Melchizedek? He lost the bracha to Abraham. Abraham took the bracha because he was an idolater. It was Melchizedek, whoever he was. You know? It's like you ever see the blessing that Shem gave to Abraham is like the biggest thing in history or the biggest botch in history. If you're a Navon, you understand that what happened between Abraham and Shem was the messianic moment of the Chumash. If you have no Navon ability, you would view what happened as the biggest, in Hebrew you say fadicha. Shem messed up and Abraham took the priesthood from him. I mean, Shem is the most Shevet person that ever lived and the most Navon. Now we know why. I want to take another detour here. All right? And Brian, if you can read for us 49 in Genesis, verse 8. 49, 8 through 10.
Genesis 49, 48.
Remember, Judah married Shem's daughter Tamar.
Okay.
And Shem entered the lineage of Judah. Okay, this is brought by the Yosef Karo, Magi Mesharim, author of the Shulchan Aruch. Keep going. Go ahead.
8 through what verse do you need?
8 through 10.
8 through 10. This is from JPS. You, O Judah, your brothers shall praise. Your hand shall be on the nape of your foes. Your father's sons shall bow low to you. Judah is a lion's whelp. On prey, my son, have you grown. He crouches, lies down like a lion, like the king of the beasts, who dare rouse him. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff.
Stop. Lo Yasser Shevet Yehuda. The scepter shall not be removed from Judah. The word scepter, Shevet, is the same word here. So that's I don't know what you make out of that. Right? It's saying that Shem is bonded with Judah. I'm letting you know that Yosef Karo teaches that, right? That when Judah married Tamar, Shem became bonded with the tribe of Judah. That's why you're going to have Solomon and King David, the whole thing about the Midrash was Solomon going to meet Shem. So now, what he's saying is that that's a bittersweet victory because the Shevet is what's not going to be removed. That means that Shem is going to be misunderstood through Judah. Who wants to rise up for a challenge? Which one of you guys wants a pretty good challenge? Who wants to volunteer? Nobody? Going once? Going twice? The initial letters of verse 10, right? Lo Yasser Shevet Yehuda, the staff or scepter will not be removed from Judah, right? The initial letters, Lamed, Yud, Shin, and Mem. Lo Yasser Shevet Yehuda. What does that spell? Lamed, Yud, Shin, Mem. Mishlei. How fitting is that? So we're in the right spot. We're hitting good stuff here. So now he's saying V'shevet legev chaser lev. The scepter is to the moron man who's lacking. What is moron man here? Moron man, now we've defined him a little better. He's just lacking, right? I was David Idiot Katz in driving school, and I realized that was who I was like in third grade, right? Why do I need to I felt like I was in third grade because I was in driving school, right? I mean, it was Sammy, the driving instructor, and okay, I won't talk. Oh, you'll take my cell phone if I use it. Okay, Sammy. And they make you feel like you're in third grade. And I realized I'm just not in third grade. I know it's driving school. I refuse to be in third grade. But most people, it's psychology. They make you feel like you're in third grade. So that was my chaser lave, and I was getting the scepter, right? He was beating me over the head. And so you got to realize you're being beat over the head. And it's a double-edged sword. Whenever you're being beat over the head, that means you got Torah Shem right there. This is what we're saying, because Judah gets the scepter. It's never leaving Judah. That means you always have the listen for the wisdom in the lips of whoever is in charge, and you got to be in Navon. So there we go. Okay, we got shot now in the literal words. Let's go inside. I'm expecting a Torah Shem moment here. I don't know about you. Verse 13. Here we go. Verse 13. Besif say Navon tim sechocha. Kisha Adam ochiach lenavon meishiv lo chatasi kagon David. Wait, this is tough. Hold on. Kisha Adam mochiach lenavon. What does that mean? Kisha Adam. Kisha Adam mochiach. See, that's another one. This is one of those words that everyone takes for granted. This is one of these classes, guys. This is a class everyone is going to take for granted, and I refuse. I guarantee you, people don't know what the word mochiach means. I would say it means reprove. Okay, but I'm guessing Rashi's not jumping out at me on that one. I don't feel it. I really don't. I think there's something deeper here. Judah married Tamar, Shem's daughter, and that put Shem's legacy into the tribe of Judah. And that's what made a King David and a King Solomon come out of Judah. And that's what made Solomon destined to find Shem at Sinai with the Midrash. Okay, mochiach. 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 Okay. Preacher, reprover, castigator, remonstrator. That's good. Also, muchach is proven. See that? This is nice. This is nice. Very, very nice. He's saying that when do you beat somebody up? When you're proving. Right? I'm castigating, I'm remonstrating, I'm reproving you. I'm preaching to you. You do it to prove. Look at the word. Prove, reprove. Prove. What does Facebook do? No one proves anything. You're wrong because I don't like it. I said so. Nobody's proving anything. And in fact, when we prove what we're doing, we get yelled at. Why? You're being too tough. Why are you proving that? So that is a very big chiddush here in Rashi. Kisha Adam mochiach linavon. When a man is reproving linavon. Now, is navon a verb or a noun? Usually we take it as a noun. Maybe here's a verb. Meishiv lo chatasi. You got to return to him, I sinned. Kisha Adam mochiach linavon. I think this is what he's saying. Because he's bringing the example of David. Right? David was one of the biggest Navon of all time. So the Navon, well, look what Rashi's doing. The Sifsei Navon, Timartze Chochma, V'shevet Legam. Yeah, you see what's going on here? Big Chiddush just came down, guys. Wait, who's this? Hold on. Big Chiddush just came down. It's so obvious, it's painful. Yeah, all right, this is a massive Chiddush. There's something called the Reisha and the Seifa. What do you call this in English? The subject and the predicate. One or two. Go back to your third grade English teachers. Ready? Subject, predicate. With me, one or two. One or two. Let's go, everybody. Lars, I know it's probably difficult in language. The beginning of the sentence is the subject, and the end of the sentence is the predicate. Right? The boy crossed the street. The boy is the subject. Cross the street is the predicate. English Grammar 101. My point is that in Talmud Torah, you call it the Reisha and the Seifa, the beginning and the end, right? This verse has a Reisha and a Seifa, according to Rashi. Raise your hand, one or two, if you would have thought in Brian's reading of English, we are talking about two different people. The really great, wise person and the real bad moron man. One or two. Two people here, correct? Everybody? And I want to see my art scroll, how they do it. I'm going to be very disappointed if I find that art scroll has two different people here. That means they did not read Rashi. I may blow a gasket, so bear with me. 10:13. In the lips of an understanding one will be found wisdom, but a rod must be used on the back of one who lacks an understanding heart. Man, see, these people are not learning Pshat. This is the same guy, according to Rashi. Because Rashi is saying David is the Navon, one or two. I think we can safely say that about King David. And when King David, how did he become a Navon? He messed up a lot. One or two about King David. So when King David messed up, people like the prophet Natan were there. And he said, David, you did something really bad. Why did David say, I sinned? Did David just say, oh, you're right, I'm just a bad guy. Okay, have a nice day, Prophet Nathan. You're a nice guy. Whatever, Nathan doesn't care about David and David's sin. It really doesn't matter to him. He's a prophet from God, and he knows he has to say to David. David was a Navon. He was able to hear in the prophet. The prophet, what is the prophet's job? To give over holy vessels. To be a vessel that allows for Hashem to come through. Right? It's like if I was a prophet right now, I could just talk about anything. I would be so into my holiness, and you guys would just get the revelation. Right? It's lending yourself to holy vessels. Means you're not plugged into dumb stuff, you're plugged into God stuff. So that when he's around David, he just realizes, God coming through. David, you sinned. And David hears God coming through. It's a prophet of God. And David's a Navon. So David says, man, you're right, I sinned. That means V'shevet legav chasur leiv. David was being moron man. He was a dead corpse. And he heard the word. And he said, I'm sorry, I sinned. He was a Navon, and he got the wisdom. One person, according to Rashi. Right? So that's King David. So when David says to God, I'm afraid you're going to kill me and I'm going to die, David wasn't joking. He was probably getting like Grim Reaper prophecy all the time. All right? God chastises those he loves. And why? It's a test to see if you can get the Navon. I mean, am I not making Reuven into a Navon? You know, when I scream like a bear at Zohari, am I not testing her, my daughter, to see if she understands Abba's just playing and I'm not really a grizzly bear? Is that not? I mean, we train each other. Right? That's the beauty of kids is they can be trained. It's like they're trainable. I mean, there's nothing more I like. You know, I bought Reuven presents for his birthday. And I said, come with me right now. And he's like, what'd I do? Masiti. I said, Reuven, get over here right now. I said, go out to the car. And he is, what, and he looked at the trunk and like we had all these toys for him. We kept them in the trunk because we wanted to find them in the house. And he knew it was like he didn't do anything wrong. So, but he was kind of, what is my soul doing? I'm training him to be a Navon, right? Because there's going to be a time when people are going to yell at him for real, and he's got to realize it's his God coming through, and he's in the graces of God. Now, that's how Rashi understands the Reisha and the Seifa, beginning and the end of the verse, and he says one. But v'shevet legev chaser lev, aval chaser lev eno shomea ad shilaka kamo. Oh, wait, where did you get that, Brian? Where'd you get that? Where did you get that? Yeah, so I was reading that. Good job. Yeah, so hold on. Wait, so why did you say Shilaka? All right, so hold on. I don't want to go to Pharaoh. What Rashi is explaining is, this is kind of funny. This is how you. I'm embarrassed to say this because it's so obvious now. It's just too funny to say. How do you wake up moron man? If you're moron man, it means you have merited to be moron man. Right? It's like a madrega. It's like a level. I am chaser lev. I am an idiot. And when you're an idiot, you are how do you say it? 1 second. Legave. You're dead. So when you're really a caliber person and you fall into the inevitable moron man, you're going to upset a lot of people, aren't you? Because it's inevitable. It's inevitable. The more Navon you become more and more on man. Right? It's like your devices. You're in sleep mode. Because you know you're going to wake up at a moron man. But you don't totally know it, so you're a little bit nervous. But basically, we need you to perform, and you're being moron man. And by God's providence, God will send the scepter into your brain from somebody that is going to really rattle your cage. One or two. So you're moron man, and you think you have credit because usually you're a smart person, and you get the scepter, and you realize you were dead, and you are just moron man. What that is an opportunity for you to realize that you are not a moron. You are a Navon, and you will listen to the wisdom coming from the mouth of the devil with the scepter, so to speak, and you'll find your wisdom. You'll get your spark. You'll get your Neo moment, right? You are going to be delivered. So now we can understand who David was. He was the biggest moron that ever lived, and that's why everybody wanted to kill him. He was the biggest moron man. But all those scepters that came onto David's dead body, they were coughing up the most essential wisdom of all time. Because David knew when he was moron man, and he prayed to God, stop making me moron man. Please, stop making me moron man. Stop killing me all the time. I live for your Torah. And they would hit him. And he would become in the lips of the Cohen, so to speak. Read Psalm 110. Read Psalm 110. Brian, read Psalm 110, verse. Hold on. Verse 5. No. Yeah. Wait a minute. What was that? Verse 4. 110, verse 4.
110 verse 4 from the GPS. The Lord has sworn and will not relent. You are a priest forever, a rightful king by my decree.
Don't read that way. By my word, Melchizedek is what it says. So
there is a footnote, after the manner of Melchizedek. Yep.
So it's King David being told by God, I've sworn, I've given you a covenant, I will not relent. You are a Cohen by my word, Melchizedek. Now take that to our verse in Malachi. Right? In the lips of the Cohen, da-da-da-da-da. You starting to see this here? Is this not a Torah Shem verse? I mean, this is crazy. So now, King David was perpetually woken up and given that wisdom. Now, Pharaoh got the scepter. He was like a corpse. And Pharaoh was actually pretty smart. The Zohar says he was a Navon too. So I guess it's just a wisdom. Okay, that's Rashi. As soon as David. Ka'asher Yeshalo Ma Mehanavon Timsa B'Tshuvas. Wait, where's he going with this? 1 second. I'm going to read it softly for a second. It's a long run-on sentence. Ka'asher Yeshalo. 1 second. That's weird language. In the lips of the Navon, you'll find wisdom. In the lips of the Navon, Ka'asher Yeshalo. Ma Mehanavon Timse B'Tshuvas Timse B'Tshuvas Amri Sifsav Gam Chochmas Seichel Gam Shevet Musar Legav Chaser Le Ki B'Divrav Yegona Maisa Chaser Le V'Tichashev Lo L'Shevet Miyaser. Ka'asher Yeshalo Ma Mehavna, what from the Navi Timse, which you'll find. Okay. Here he's saying, I figured he was going to go different than Rashi here, right? Navon is either a noun or a verb, and it can be both. So when you ask the Navon, that's if you're asking Shem himself, okay? Somebody who has the power, Mepia Gavura. In the mouth of God, I heard too. Again, that's somebody who the prophet is so rich in his language that you can derive multiple meaning from his words. 1 or 2. So we're gonna use Shem in our little metaphor here. All right, David was the one that received the word from the prophet, and David was the Navon, the one being chastised. Now we're saying, hey, Shem, what should I do tomorrow to serve God properly? Shem would say, did you ever think about going and praying to God? All right, you with me? We're making it a little bit elementary, but you're my point. And you're going to hear that and say, wow, that's great. That is superb wisdom. Thank you, Prophet Shem. But he's going to say it in a way with divine providence and mazel and wisdom that he's going to, just the way he says it, you didn't pray yesterday when you knew you should have. And that's why you went to Shem to find out what to do. You felt bad. So the way Shem said it, you're like, oh, man, I really should have prayed yesterday. So he gave you good advice, but he also gave you a little bit of a reprimand. You're going to get the tshuvat amrei sifsav, like the tshuva, the penetrating words of not rebuke, but to become a penitent person. Also the wisdom of the mind. Also the rod of Musar to the corpse who's lacking. Because you were bad yesterday, you know? You know why you didn't pray yesterday. You did something you shouldn't have. All right, it's not Hashem's business, but you know what you did. Okay, you're a human and you're lacking. And in his words, he's going to guard the words, the actions of someone who's lacking, so that he'll consider the rod of rebuke. So the more that Shem refines himself, right? From the lips of the Cohen, you will receive the true teaching. Right? He'll remove. Brian, read that Malachi again, please. Remember the Malachi verse is Shem literally in the tradition. We'll hear it perfect. Brian, with me?
Yeah, I'm just looking it up real quick.
Right, go ahead. This will be perfect.
This is Malachi.
Chapter 2.
That's right.
4 or something.
Yeah. Shoot. Malachi 2. There it is. Okay.
Pay attention. Read it slow. Everyone pay attention to what we're saying in terms of this commentary. Go ahead.
Are we doing Malachi 2,
Yeah, the whole thing, all the way through 8.
Okay. 4 through 8?
Yeah.
And you shall know that I have sent you this commandment, that my covenant be with Levi, says the Lord of hosts. My covenant was with him, life and peace, and I gave them to him with fear. And he feared me, and because of my name, he was overawed. True teaching was in his mouth, and injustice was not found on his lips. In peace and equity, he went with me, and he brought back many from iniquity. For a priest's lips shall guard knowledge, and teaching should be sought from his mouth. For he is a messenger of the Lord of hosts. But you have turned aside from the way. You caused many to stumble in the Torah. You corrupted the covenant of the Levites, said the Lord of hosts.
What do you guys think? That's pretty Shem as we're describing it, isn't it? Pretty heavy. Ralbag. Hine Navon, Timsei Chochma, Besivsav. So we found our Navon, and there Hine of Hanavon. So really, it's a two-headed animal here. It really is Shem and Abraham, isn't it? Because if Shem's the Navon, wisdom is in his mouth, how do you know? That means you hear it. That means I'm a Navon, right? It says that on the Temple Mount, it says he gave him a tenth of everything. Type 1, if you know that verse. Abraham was with Shem, and he gave him a tenth of everything. Does anybody give me a 2 on this? Everybody got 1? So who got the 10th? Who's he? How do you guys know that? How do you know it's Shem? How do you know this? The text is perfectly ambiguous. There's no way of knowing. So the Zohar says, me no me no ten the me. Who gave to who? And also in the Zohar, the word me, as in who, W-H-O, and the word me, mem yud. Mem yud is the gematria of 50, as in nun shari bina, perfect understanding. Those guys were so chachma, wisdom, navon. They were just on the same page. That's what we're describing here in this commentary. Right? At this point, if you did something wrong, it just doesn't matter because you're going to hear it anyways and vice versa. So if you're with wisdom and a navon, you're going to get beat up a lot because God's going to require you to learn from that. And you're going to be beating up a lot of people because it's going to come out regardless. And you are here for them to hear from you, which means they do hear from you and they got the rebuke. And now it's going to be a character trait, how you deal with it. So when you become a Navon, do you know anybody that had a worse time than Shem and Joseph and David. This is why. They were brilliant and they were beating people up at the same time, didn't understand why. Now we know why. Navon hatov. Hanifla mikol hatovus. This is called good. This is called good. It is a wonder from all goodness. You realize what that's saying? This is called what it is to have goodness in your life. To be able to hear the voice in the voice. Kamo shekadem. The ana mishahu chaser leiv lo dailo shehu nedor zeatov. What does it mean to be moron man? It means you don't have good in your life, as defined as this good. When I was moron man in driving school, Sami, the driving instructor, was not with God. That makes me an idolater. And if I would have just realized that God is everywhere and coming through all forms of creation, then I get the goodness. Not just like, give me stuff. It's in me. God's chastising you for you. Say, hey, you can get this. You can pass your driving test. So don't ever allow yourself to be beat up by somebody. What it is, it's God waking you up from your state of death and praising you that you got it. It's like, I get gears, so such a thing. You got it. And God will test you. God hides. He's in Simsum. He hides himself from creation. So you're never going to see it coming. You're always going to be a dead corpse. When you get hit over the head, you wake up. That's God reminding you that you've been given a precious goodness in your life. Aval yidavek bo hara. So when you're dead, figuratively, you are clinging to wrongness. Why was I wrong in driving school? Because I thought I was just Dave Katz. Wrong. That was the third grade you. You forgot all of a sudden, what happened? I thought you were a rabbi with over a decade in yeshiva. And you ever had a hard time with Sami, the driving instructor? Really? So I was clinging to wrongness. Vehamakus legufo tamid. I took my shots. You'll get beat up. We saw it. What did Sami do? He didn't say, "Oh, Dave, man, wow. So tell me about how you're a father with 2 kids. Come cry on my shoulder. I wanna pat you on the back, and you can cry on my shoulder all day long." Everybody, feel sorry for Dave Katz in class. He was up late with students, and we owe him an apology. We shouldn't have even been created. It's all about him. No, Sami went and beat me up to no end, and I'm saying, man, doesn't this guy lay off? No, Sami's not laying off. He is the chastisement of God coming on to you, and you are wrong, Mr. Katz. And we are now beating you up. How are you going to handle that? We want to damage you. We want to hit you. All these people. Remember, if you fail the class, they don't know you anything. They'll turn on you too, because they want to show Sami, the driving instructor, how good of an Israeli driver they are. Because you have a blemish in your actions, right? You think it's acceptable. You claim to be a Talmud scholar. You can't get past a little driving school, right? There's a big problem here, Mr. Katz, with your behavior. The ma'amrav nifsadim mesivat chisron daso. And from their words, you'll nifsadim. We can't rationalize with you, Mr. Katz. Right? We can't say, hey, wow, Dave, I bet you're probably this Rabbi in Sfat, you know? You probably wrote a book and have a lot of nice things to say. Well, you're in driving school now, man. You gotta get up and roll with the punches, right? That's Hollywood. We're beating you up, and you're not gonna get any rationale from me, Buster, because you are missing your brain. You have no das. Now, this is nice. He used the word das, knowledge or awareness. When you have your brain flowing through your veins, and you're in not moron man mode, that's called das. You're mazel. You're kicking. You're flying. You're hearing the words. That's why the word is gave. Now I get the word gave. Gave is your lax. Your body's just kind of, dangling around. You know how when you're really tired, at the end of the night, you move like a sloth? One or two. That's who this guy is. You know how when people try to get you in a real deep conversation when you're exhausted? Like, hey, Loretta, now's the time to solve the meaning of life. You're like, oh, man, it's only 3 a.m. Just try to get ready to go to bed. No, we got to do it now. So that's when you're going to get beat up. Right? And that's what I did. I went to driving school after going to bed at 3-something in the morning, driving out to Carmel, in my pajamas. Not exactly where I want to be. All right, so we understand that. Okay, who are we going to now? Evan Ezra. Vakshay. That you're going to request. So basically, whenever you ask somebody a question, anything. Hi, do you work in this store? Do you know where you can direct me to the milk, please? Was that a request? Then you better listen. You better listen when they say here, over to that aisle to the left. That's God speaking to you. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to get beat up. It's like saying, hi, honey, can you bring home my favorite shampoo? Oh, yeah, sure. You're in trouble. You are in trouble. But when the request is then attended to, you are standing before God. You are standing before God, and God will speak. 1 or 2. Can I prove this? 1 or 2. Can I prove it according to Shem and a Navon? 1 or 2. And you guys ever hear of a character in the Torah called Rebecca? Did Rebecca have a question at the beginning of Parshas Toldus? Did she listen to the answer? Who did she go to for that? So I guess this Rabbi Cass guy isn't so bad after all. Is that not a perfect example? Look at that example. Look at that example. Rebecca says, I'm a Navon. How do I know Rebecca's a Navon? She says to Jacob, Shema bekoli, listen in my voice. Does that mean Jacob's a Navon? Yeah, buddy. Rebecca's a Navon. She goes to Shem. Is Shem a Navon? Now I'm going to really blow your mind. Now we're going to really blow the mind. Look at Parshas Toldus. Brian, I want you to post this verse up. I'm going to tell you where to go. In the Hebrew, please. There are 2 nations in your womb. Says Shem. 25:23. Please post that in Hebrew. There it is. Look at the last word of the first line. Gimel Yud Yud Mem. It's the same derivative of our word for corpse. Back. Then the commentators always say, don't read Gayim, rather read Goyim, nations. But it's Gayim. Now we can understand what that is. Right? She went to Shem to find out, why are these kids kicking in my stomach? They were not alive yet. They didn't have the reality of birth. Esav still could have done tshuva. It wasn't a done deal. So she was trying to get the message from Shem. Okay? Now, how do I know that's true? You guys ever hear of a guy named Jacob? Did Jacob do the thing with the sticks with the animals for mating? And we know that knowledge and wisdom came from Shem. What do we see from it? You can influence inside what's going to come to the outside in gestation. Shem taught it to Yaakov. Shem taught it to Rivka. V'shevet ba'avur she'ena rotze lilmod. Why do you get beat up? Because you don't want to learn. Lilmod hadat. Sarich lehakoto b'shevet. Right? When you don't want to learn hadat, which is like, again, the school of wisdom. Shem had a yeshiva, one or two. Okay, now I'm going to get into my Torah Shem here. Lars, what's up? I know. I'm just speaking kind of bland here for a second. Now make a lateral move. Who here has heard of Kobe Bryant? Okay. Does Kobe Bryant play basketball? No, he does not. Kobe Bryant lets basketball happen. Do you understand that? What it is that exactly. See, David Katz plays basketball too. But that means that I'm doing way too much work when I play. I'm actually trying to make a basket when I play. Does Kobe Bryant try to make a basket? No, he does not. What he does is he knows that if I bend my wrist backwards and I grip the ball the right way, it's called mechanics. Then you do what Brian said, let it flow. Kobe Bryant's job is to not get in the way of basketball. Basketball is a wisdom, and it just happens. How many of you play basketball? No? How many of you play basketball every day? You're all liars. Are you trying to tell me you've never thrown a Kleenex in the waste paper basket once a day? And don't tell me you actually don't try to get excited when you make a basket from 2 feet away in a huge waste paper basket. You're like, yes. Okay? We all do it. Now, why do you do that? Why do you get so excited when you throw a dirty, used Kleenex into a big, huge trash bin? Because there's a wisdom. And wisdom just is. It's a certain pleasure called in Kabbalah, Mayan Nukvin. You arouse the Eibishter, Hashem. It just goes in. You know, it's like when you get to a almost red light and it turns green before you got there, right? You're like, yes, okay, score. Didn't have to stop the car. Keep going, right? Little wisdoms are in the world. So there's what you can do is you can choose to develop that wisdom if you wish to. Some people become race car drivers and not just highway drivers. Some people become basketball players. right? When you wrestle with your brother in the backyard, some people become wrestlers. The wrestler learns how to not be a wrestler. I was trying to be a wrestler. That's why I was horrible. As I watched the videos, I learned, don't be a wrestler. Stop being a wrestler. Kobe Bryant is not a basketball player. He is letting basketball wisdom happen. 1 or 2. Okay. So we say that because, is Shem really in yeshiva? 1 or 2? Correct, Travis. Shem is letting yeshiva wisdom happen. 1 or 2? I mean, the wisdom is just there. It's just there. Shem is the Cohen Lekel Elyon, the priest to God above. That means that the wisdom's coming from that name Aleph Lamed El. And Shem is the priest on that level. Just let the wisdom happen. That's why there's a Torah of Shem. I forget how I got in that thread. Does anyone remember what I was talking to before I went over to Shem? Oh, that was before. When I was in the Ibn Ezra, before She'ino Rotzel Lilmod Hadas, Sarich Lehakuto B'Shevet. Someone that doesn't want to learn. That's what I was saying. The school of wisdom. Right? Hadat. There's a school of wisdom. There's a school of wisdom. Shem is the Torat Emet, as it says in Malachi, the true teaching. It just happens, and Shem ministers there. 1 or 2. And you can either want to learn that, or you don't want to learn that. 1 or 2. And see, when God administers from his yeshiva, it's different than the Brian Stanek rules of life. Right? Brian Stanek says, hey, you don't shoot a basketball like that. You do it like Michael Jordan. I know. I got season tickets practically every year. Right? That's called Brianism. Brian might be right. But if I don't cooperate with Brianism, it's really not the end of the world. Right? Just kind of speak general. But when God comes calling, when God enrolls you into his school, whether you like it or not, whether you believe in God or not, whether you like God or not, whatever religion you are or not, whatever gender you are or not, whatever race you are or not, God enrolls you in his school. And it's called free will, as you said, Lars. And it's very simple. Very simple. You can either choose to learn, or you can choose to get beat up. And that wisdom is codified, called the Torah of Shem. That wisdom is codified as the Torah of Shem. 1 or 2. Moses enrolled in that yeshiva. 1 or 2. Moses then said, hey, this is a book. This is the book of all books. And God said, I have a people of all people. We're going to stand at Sinai, Ger, Jew, Greater Israel, and the wisdom of the world will latch on to Sinai. And the Sinai people will live that wisdom. So it will become eternal, never forgotten. Moses wrote the book of that experience. That's the Torah we have. So Shem is the one that ministers there, made it into a Torat Emet. Sinai became Torat Moshe. All right, now we're in the Mitzudas Sion. Leguf. Here you go. Here's where Rashi, the Chabadniks got it from. It's called the Mitzudat Sion commentary, Brian. What is this word, Legav? Our funny word, dead corpse, body back. Leguf, to the body. Kamo goy nasati lamekim. Isaiah 50. I'm going to run out for 1 second. I'll be right back. We'll look at that verse. Hold on. All right, Isaiah 50. We had a very nice piece of mazel come down tonight. Remember how we said Lahavin last time? Was to like split up and really break it down. I had no intention of doing that tonight. Look what happened. We learned what it meant, and look what we did. We broke it down and split it up. We had without thinking, it just happened. Look at the difference when we've explored a lot of ways of learning Torah in the Mishlei class. Look how we did it. We ironed it out. Boom, 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 boom. Really breaking it down, giving it over clear. All right, this is 1 second here. Where is he? 1 second. Who is this? Isaiah 50. All right. What's the word? Let's here. Brian, get ready. Isaiah 50. Verse 6. Go ahead.
Yeshayahu 50, verse 6, from the JPS. I offered my back to the floggers and my cheeks to those who tore out my hair. I did not hide my face from insult and spittle.
Gavi nasati lamekim. So yeah, I gave my back to floggers. Uomer li Yeshaya b'nei. Wait a second. Let's get a better one. Sarti goofy. I gave my body over. This is kind of a stupid thing I'm about to say, but this is really the secret of wrestling, right? You have to be willing to. Brian, you know about this. You got to really be willing. As all sports are like this. You have to be willing to give your body over to be successful in a sport. That's why I wasn't a good wrestler, right? It just you really have to put your you got to commit. You have to. So that's what Gavi means. I gave you the shirt off my back. Is that Gavi? 1 or 2? 100%. That's what it means back, right? It's just, I got your back. Is that Gavi? 100%. Just that it's giving your body. Okay, you want to know what Gavi is? Here it is. Rabbi Akiva jumping into the fire saying Kriya Shema. Was that Gavi? 100%. It's not the same as Moser Nefesh, self-sacrifice. I was a Moser Nefesh wrestler. Okay, I would give anything for the sport. But it's another thing when you're willing to put your neck on the line for real. Everybody's got a heart of gold. That's the thing I also realized. Don't tell people that their hearts aren't in it, which is very ironic. Look at the mazel I just said. Is that true to say that don't tell them your heart's not in it? 1 or 2? You guys are you're wrong. Look at our verse. Chaser leiv, lacking of the heart. That's the thing. What can I say? It's right there in the verse. I mean, look, your heart is in it. But at the end of the day, there's another level, right? Another level for the guy whose heart is so in it, he's got your back. I mean, that's everybody that knows anything about sports or whatever it is. That's the level. Michael Jordan had their back. Attention can be 100%. Michael Jordan had the backs of those guys, and they knew it. That's how they won. Wrestling is the same way. That's a real leader in sports. The guy that's got everyone's back. Derek Jeter had everyone's back on the Yankees in their glory years. It's just the way it is. So that's really what we're saying. That's a nice idea, isn't it? To sit in the lips of the Navon, you'll find wisdom, and the rod is the one to the corpse is missing. That's really, man, that is it. You know? Because when I'll tell you what it is. Brian's in martial arts. You know, this is, breaking the concrete block or breaking the wood. Right? When you're not committing to that break, you will break your hand. You got to commit to that break. And this is what we're saying. The lips of the Navon, you'll find wisdom. In the martial arts, they break boards, Lars. And it's in concrete blocks. Not every martial art, some martial arts. And so if you don't know ahead of time that you're going to break it, then you're going to break part of your body. What the martial art is showing, and wrestling is the same. You got to commit your body to doing it in order to succeed. You know, when we had Guillermo in class last week, that's what he and I were talking about. Is that you have to commit. That's really all wrestling is. It is building up the emunah, the belief that, and you have to invest in your belief. Otherwise, it's called delusion. But if you can convince yourself that you have worked hard enough and you can rise up to that challenge, you will be unbeatable. I mean, that's what we're learning here. In the lips of the Navon, you'll find wisdom. Right? When Michael Jordan tells you should have taken the shot, you listen. And you make it. You'll take the shot and you'll make it. The rod comes to the guy who's lacking. He's the one who takes the shot and is self-conscious and misses it every time. A good team finds the players that can perform as Navon, that can take the rebuke from Michael Jordan. By the way, the teams that are not well built, they will fight over. I mean, I don't know if you guys watch football, but I remember a couple years ago, many years ago, there was a receiver that went across the middle. He should have caught the pass. And what did he do? He didn't want to catch it because he would have gotten decked. I think it was a guy from the Bengals, if I remember right, or somebody. I can't remember who it was. You guys remember that? Or you guys probably seen it 100 times, right? He doesn't want to get decked, so he bails out and doesn't catch the ball. What it is that in football, you throw the ball in a compromising position that if you catch it, you're going to get hit really hard. And your team expects you to make that catch. Like a Neo going out on the scaffolding. Neo's like, no, I kind of want to go out through Smith. Thanks a lot, though, Morpheus. You're a good guy. All the power to you. Everybody kills that guy. Nobody wants to be around that guy on the team. That's the guy they point fingers at and blame, and you let us down. And that's what we're saying here, spiritually. You got to be willing to stand in the fire with God, with the prophet, with the wisdom, with the understanding, and take the hit. And you're going to get hit. The rod is going to come on to you, and you got to get hit. Yeah. But if you're not going to get the wisdom, you're going to get hit anyways. That's the irony. You're going to get hit anyways. Very nice stuff here. All right, that was the Masuda's Sion. All right, we got him, and we got him, and we got him, and we got him, and we got him. Now we're down to the Maharal of Prague. Yesh hevdel bein hachacham ubein hanavon. How do you like that? How do you like that? There's a difference between a wise man and a Navon. Bet you guys don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Maybe you do. I don't. But we're definitely, I know you know, so we're definitely in for a Kiddush here. The Chacham Asaf Chokei HaChochma B'Kabbalah Mirabusav. The Chacham, Is Joseph, for example, gaining wisdoms from his master, right? Like collecting baseball cards, right? Collecting wisdoms. That's really what it was in high school wrestling, you know? The coach is telling you all the moves, not the da, not the D, and you're collecting it, right? You're not a master yet. You're collecting all the different wisdoms. Right? Your coach says, do the armbar. You don't argue. You just do the armbar. You never investigate why. You just, coach says, take him down, double leg. The good wrestler, he's the one that says, okay, double leg, take him down. Right? He's not saying why. He's not investigating. See, I was a bad wrestler. Right? I said, hey, and I'm in the middle of the mat wrestling, and he's like, kids, turn him over. And I'm saying to myself, why? And then he's getting all upset. No, turn him the other way. And I'm saying to myself, why? That's why I wasn't good. I was going for Navon. I skipped the step of gaining wisdom. Then Navon, who chokor aleihim, lahavina, he wants to really investigate. See, the real Navon in wrestling, he's going to stay after practice for like 5 hours with a partner. And when the coach told him to, turn him over, he's going to try to find out what the coach meant. It could be all night long until he can't stand to find out what that was. And then he's going to break it down. Ready for this? What's the word I'm saying for break it down? What's my word here? I'm looking at a Hebrew word. I'm calling it break it down. What is it? You're going to love it. Oh, you're going to love it. No takers? Lehavin. How do you like them apples, Brian? Lehavin. Lehavinam. Ulahotzi devar medavar. Take it down, break it down, and take the matter from the matter. Split it up. Right? This is what it is. So I gave you the wisdom. You're collecting wisdom. You're a chacham, and you're with your practice partner, and you're breaking it down. Literally splitting hairs, breaking it down, 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 separating, matter from the matter. And the chacham, atzura belibo. What is this word, atzura? That's a tough one. What is that? I never saw it used in this way. Hold on. What is this, atzura? Atzura. How do you spell that? Atzura. How do you spell that? Atzura. Atzura. Imprisoned. Detained. Forbidden. Restrained. Retain. So it's either retain or restrain. The chachma atzura belibo. Right? This is why I was not a good wrestler. Because the good wrestlers, how did they get the coaching? They knew it. Right? Turn him over. And he turned it over. Because he had that wisdom in his heart. He already knew it. So the coach said, turn him over. He's like, okay, turn him over. Right? Joseph in prison with wisdom. That's right. That's what it was. It's the baby in the womb. Ubekul davar, she is daman lefanav, sarich lehit yaitz im levavo. So the chacham knows he has wisdom. I mean, that's really an important level. I think that's the level of Mashiach. To really know that you have wisdom in your heart. That is such emunah b'tachon in God, right? You are saying that, you know what, you call me moron man, but I know I'm really not. You're going to beat me up and call me bad, and I was stepping on your toes, and I let you down, and it's all going to go down because of me, right? Oh, I let you down. I betrayed you. I'm a horrible person. How could I forget it was your birthday? I know I have wisdom in my heart. It's called being a man. So as I go on my path, I have to lehid ya'etz im levavo. Work with my heart. What does the Ramchal say? The duties of the heart. The heart will reveal to you what is to come because everything is in your blood. Your heart pumps the blood. Your heart gets the message in your nefesh from God. God tells your heart, tells your nefesh, tells your blood what's coming your way. Hey, Bob, you're single and you're 27 years old. Yeah, we're thinking about sending your bride to be. Any minute now, she's going to be coming your way. So your body took that as you low life, you're single, you're not going to go anywhere, you're doing nothing, you let everyone down. And you're saying, how could this be? I think I'm okay. I think I'm an okay person. So you dial in your heart. Heart, what's going on? What's going on, heart? What's going on? Your heart will say, look, we just received a word from headquarters. We got a situation. You're going to be getting married in about 3 weeks. It's going to be crazy. You barely know this person. You're going to fall in love, and we think it's going to work out, but you're going to have a lot of explaining to do, right? You're going to be moving across state. So you got a lot of work to do, and that's why you just got beat up because you had to leave that place in a hurry because we ain't got no time. Now, Yaski Maisav im Choke Chokma Asher Kibel Mirabosav. All right, but heart, is that allowed? Is that one of the wisdoms what we receive from the master? Are we allowed to do that? Is it responsible to get married in 3 weeks? Yeah. Rabbi Yossi Galili did it in the Gemara. Really? Yeah. It's all the time. I know the secular world doesn't do it, but yeah, we do that. In wisdom, we're Torah Shem, we're all about that. Okay, good. So we can continue? Yeah. Keep going. Located on Navon. The Navon, not so. Shemavin tam kol davar ukvar bona alehem b'nehem acherim. The Navon's going to say, I know I got wisdom. So, hey, Brian, he says, I got really beat up by Bob. Do you think Bob knows what he's talking about? Brian says, yeah, you're doing pretty good, but you should really get moving on your path. You're a good guy. There's got to be somebody out there for you. Yeah, I thought so too. But what am I going to do? And you guys talk it out. You have a long talk over a beer, chicken wings. At the end of the night, you say, man, Brian, you're right. I hear what Bob was saying. I think I'm going to move across state. Yeah, I think you'll find your special spouse over there. Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot, Brian. So Navon, he's got to split those hairs, right? He knows that Bob winked, and he's got to get that wink extracted through Brian. Cholkei achachma meruglim al sifsav. See, the Navon says, call it my master, call it Bob, call it Brian, call it the girl at the grocery store. God is going to get me the wisdom all day, every day. So it's not just that I have wisdom in my heart and I go around collecting wisdom. Not only do I do that, I get it everywhere. Right? I have the ability, the Navon, that the most minute places and things I get wisdom. It just comes to me like raindrops in a rainstorm. The yesh hevdel bein sfatim ubein peveloshin. There's a difference then. First of all, do you get the difference between the wise man and the Navon? Lars, where are you stuck? The wise man, he doesn't investigate. He just lets it happen. He investigates one-on-one with himself. The Navon speaks to God in creation. After he gets the message, for whatever it is, he gets his answers. He doesn't stop working with creation until he gets his answers. You with us? All right. The lips and the mouth and the tongue. What's the difference? Why does it say sometimes the mouth of the righteous, the tongue, kindness was on her tongue, and the lips of the Navon? She'asafa moire al hadibur. Lips is the same word as language, like safa anglit, the English language. So the lips and the language rules on speech. Hachitzoni, below makshava klal. So basically, when people talk, you don't know what you're saying. Right? In Hebrew, you say, "Hey, Brian, what's up?" "Oh, not much." "Yeah? Nothing's doing?" "No, how about you?" "Oh, it's okay." "Yeah? Yeah. It's all good, man." "Oh, yeah, okay. What are you doing next week?" "Oh, nothing. And check out, town, go out." "Yeah, okay. That's pretty cool. You like doing that?" "Yeah. Yeah, I do too." "All right. Hey, it's good to see you." "Yeah, it's real good to see you too." So that's why it's safa. It's just lip service. Now we know where lip service comes from. Just lip service. Yemalitz she'achachma nimset etzel hanavon mina safa lechutz. But the Navon, the Navon, he actually takes those words and listens. "Hey, Brian, how's it going?" "Oh, yeah, it's okay." "What? It's okay? Thank you, Brian. I heard it. Thank you." Because those little words, it was, her, from, there, those are the words called Amrei Bina. When we get to the very next end of our verse, our main verse, words of understanding. So what is lip service and a beat down for one guy is the words of understanding and prophecy from the lips and lip service language of another. And it's so vibrant off the lips of the Navon, you don't even have to think about it. You don't have to pay attention. It's just so clear. Now you can understand who Shem was and what a prophet is. They are a Navon filled with wisdom, and they've refined it so much, you don't have to really try to listen to them. Their words just echo and just drip off their lips. And you're able to get insight and teaching. Whereas if it was somebody that's not a Navon, right? And so if I'm not a Navon, that means you're not a Navon. If I'm a Navon, that means you're a Navon. So if it's a very difficult session, then you're going to be very frustrated because you want to be a Navon. That's what goodness is called, right? The goodness is when you are a Navon. So if you're not a Navon, you want good, and you're really breaking your head to understand old Merv. And then Merv is giving you lip service. "Well, yeah, we're going to go over yonder." Right? And you're like, "Wow, what does it mean? What does it mean?" Right? Existential angst. What does it mean? And you'll never get it. Never, ever get it. You're going to get the rod over your head over and over and over again. But when two Navonim meet, like Abraham and Shem, right, that the lip service is going to die out real quick. It's going to become a meaningful talk every time. So the more the people become Navon, then instantly there is no Merv, right? Anybody in the presence of a Navon gets the message. So the more of birds of a feather flock together, the more you increase wisdom. Now, Kihu Mizumenis Lefanav Tamid. This is the idea of Sefer Yetzirah, right? The idea is that the magic of the world called Yitzchak, right? The real Shemayim, where God plays with his angels, so to speak. That takes place in the domain called your mouth. and it comes out through your lips. Just all the magic happens there. There's a total mazel in your mouth. You have no choice which words you use and how it comes out. It's all divine providence. You think you speak well, or you think you have a speech impediment. You don't. Where do we see that? Come on, you guys should know this in 2 seconds. Who makes a mouth for man? Exactly. Now, how long does this thing go for? Okay. Shevet legev chaser leiv, halev hu koyach hamamshala asher benefesh, lahanhi kokosav kafi chokei hachochma. Your heart is the power of control, leadership, rulership in your blood, in your brain that flows through your blood, mochin. That anybody listen to my what do you call it? Mishlei Elyon class from a couple days ago? You guys did? Yeah. How did I translate Lahan Hig again? Self-governed? Yeah, self-governed. Self-governed. Right? To self-govern through his own personal powers according to statutes of wisdom. Your heart is where God stores the wisdom. So wherever your heart is, that's how the wisdom reacts. Right? Brian, is your heart in your martial arts? So therefore, when we speak to you in martial art lingo, your heart resonates with the wisdom very clearly. And if we speak away from your martial arts, like, the antithesis of martial arts, then your heart responds that way. Negative, positive, pro, con. Your self-guided system is when you deny the wisdom of your heart. You didn't follow your heart. You didn't follow your dreams. You doubted yourself. Where does Amalek attack? In the heart. Where is the Tzimtzum of light in Kabbalah? In your heart. That's the challenge. That's the challenge. We see it with Noahide and Ger on the internet, don't we? Everybody's heart is with Ger. Don't tell me it isn't. Look what Amalek says. They dafka have to fight the wisdom now. Now we see it. They have to fight the wisdom by just beating up your heart. Don't follow your heart. Don't do it. Whatever you do, don't follow your heart. What is I get Ger? I get Ger is called the person who follows his heart. And that's really all it is. So he doesn't follow his heart. Al derech acher, nikre, ikesh leiv v'kadame. His heart has stumbling blocks before it. A guy who has no guidance whatsoever. A total wayward soul. Lost in the dark. Completely just, he's not a bad guy, right? He's probably a nice guy. I think in my Texas talks, this is my Dirk the Goy. Right? No offense to Dirk the Goy. It's just, that's why it's animalistic, but it's not bad evil. He just doesn't do anything. He doesn't have any discipline, no spirituality. One day it's this, one day it's that. Nothing grabs his heart. That's the guy whose heart isn't in anything, right? Now we can understand that guy. His heart's not in anything. Right? Yeah, I tried a little bit of this, and yeah, I tried a little bit of that. Yeah, I tried a little bit. He doesn't like anything. He doesn't do anything. Heart is not in anything. Yeah, he's going to make fun of it because he doesn't care. His heart's not in anything. This is, again, for the record, King David, 88:6. He has no power of rulership over anything. So he is totally given over to Sitra Achra, Avodah Zorah, right? And again, he may just be a nice guy, atheist, whatever he is. He does not put his foot down. He does not follow his heart. He doesn't master anything. Goes with the flow, exactly. Yada da da. He does not get intense about Brian's martial arts. And he is really offended that Brian really cares about his martial arts. Doesn't believe anything. Doesn't believe anything. And then Brian's going to get into a discussion about how great Bruce Lee is, whatever it is. And he's just going to say something stupid, really offensive and stupid. Oh, well, Bruce Lee was all special effects in Hollywood. Wasn't even real. I know, my uncle worked there, and it's like, it was all just like, just fake. He does not want wisdom, doesn't look for wisdom, doesn't want intelligence, revelation, nothing. Nikra b'shem chaser leiv. Know this word, chaser leiv. King David talks about it a lot in Psalms. Chaser leiv, lacking of heart. Right? That's the guy that you beat up and kick off the wrestling team. Right? He has no heart. That's I hate to say this, but whenever, we've had some issues in the I Get Gear group, right? Without naming names. That's why that person got removed, okay? That's why. Heart is not making a nuisance and saying, I'm right, you're wrong, we got to get peace here, everybody, and sing Kumbaya. That's not heart. Heart is called passion about something. Even if you're going to argue against it, at least be passionate, right, and hard work. If you're just going to sit and say stupid stuff on Facebook, that's called chaser leiv. It's very tricky to get rid of that. But that's what it is. Isha zeh sarich shevet lahatoso aderech. This guy needs the rod to hit him back on the path. You have to give him the rod. Right? This is what King Solomon says. The rod, don't spare your son the rod. That's why there's fighting on Facebook. That is why there are groups that are defending the truth and those that are fighting against the truth. I know it's ugly, and I don't like getting muddy. I don't. But that's just how wisdom works. Yeah, you have to give the rod. You don't have free will. And it's a wisdom. It's a formula, right? When you are going after the truth, and if you're a Navon, right, you're giving them the rod whether you like it or not. By the premises brought down here, you either get the wisdom or you're getting the rod. And when you get the rod, you're going to fight back. And when they fight back, they're going to get more rod. And it's like, what was this, The Matrix, or what was it? There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to stop it. If you're getting the wisdom, you will crave more wisdom, and you will look for more wisdom. And you will deliver that rod, and you're going to get hit by the chaser leiv. Ratzon Leimer, ki Adam shehu bal bechira, hanhago lebo al derech. A guy who masters free. This is the most Matrix stuff I've ever heard in my life. the master of free will. He is self-governed according to the wisdom, and he makes his heart go on the path of the wisdom of the tree of life. Ve'asus ve'achamor, the horse and the donkey, she'ein lehem leiv hamoshel, right? Their physicality gets to them and takes them where they want to go. They have no master or rulership over anything. Midoseihem sorich koach machriach melachutz. Their character traits need the power to reprove. Look at the word reprove. Can you define ger any better than that? We have made a movement of just reproving. Every day I wake up, go to my office just to prove ger exists. You realize this? Every day. Every day we go on Facebook just to prove that ger exists. Now I know why. They're doing exactly what the Malbim says they're going to do. Every day. They want the rod every day. Prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it. It's got to come from the outside because they're not getting the wisdom from their heart on the inside. So they got to become accustomed on the outside. Just like you hit a horse and a donkey to make it go its way. You got to hit them. And the people are very offended that there's so much hitting on Facebook. I'm sorry, but you can quote Mishlei 10:13. Brian, that's a direct message to you. To quote this verse. V'chein a leiv hu dugmas behema. This chaser leiv is the example of an animal, and he needs the rod to reprove him. Bal yavit achrosav yazik. I need to look at this word. So that he's not avet. This is where avet. Avet. Sorry to be so blunt. Man. Oh, man, it's a saddle. Or no, wait. To pervert, twist, confuse. So he doesn't confuse the ways and damage. Man, is that the best definition of I get ger ever? Wow. Seriously. So he doesn't confuse the ways and go and off and do damage. Wow. That's insane, folks. That's really our camp. Havdil bein chacham and Navon chacham bina. Bo bekol a sefer v'safa. Chitzonius neged peh v'loshin. Moira ala dibur chitzoni tami bein neged a peh. All right, he's just adding to a little bit. All right, I think we're done. I'll tell you what, we split that one up pretty good. Right? How do you guys feel about that? So now we did the word Navon. The Navon, how do we want to tie this up? Navon. Wow, so many angles. Navon just is. You either get it or you. It's not. Navon is called I get ger, right? You either get it or you don't. You either get it or you don't. And lehavin is the answer to I get ger. So when people say, "How do you get ger?" Lehavin. You got to break it up. This is the Malbim. This is the Malbim. You gotta chew your food. Don't be an animal. Chew your food. Chew it up. Break it up. Listen to it. Split it up. It's called discipline, man. It's the wrestler. Be involved. Hard work. Man, it's just, I don't know. How would you guys summarize this? Seriously, it's like all here. We did it. We answered up the question, how do you get Ger? Agreed? 1 or 2? And this was the I Get Ger week. And we said lehavin is to really get, to break it down. I think it's a fractal thing here. I think break it down on every level. Your ego, what people say, who you hang out with, your hard work, right? The Chasser Lev, how do we answer him again? His heart's not in it. He has no heart. No heart. So that's actually the answer. That's the answer. You gotta follow your heart. You gotta know you have a heart. You gotta talk to your heart. The knowing heart, as Ramchal says. I would say that's how I would define I Get Ger. There are those that have heart and those that don't. It's like a sport. It's like a real sport. Lehavin, yeah, your commitment, Ger's in your eyes. Man, Brian, if you didn't just say the best word ever, that's right. That's it. And if you say, how do you know, Brian? The answer is, well, go find out. Did you ever think about exploring your heart? Go find out. This is Yoda tonight, isn't it? This is real Yoda. You got to question your heart. You got to talk to your heart. You got to look in your heart. You got to look for other people's heart. You got to hear their heart. The acknowledgement of the heart. I think that's how I want to say it. There are those that deny the heart, right? The heartbeat. Your heart's either beating or it's not. That's why it says gave, death. Your heart either beats or doesn't. Other people's hearts either beat or they don't. And that's what's wrong with the Facebook stuff. They're basically saying that what I saw Texan Ger, they're saying I didn't see hearts beating, but I did see hearts beating, and they're trying to say my heart doesn't beat Ger. Well, it does beat Ger. That's it. The people that are fighting, they want the rod. They want to get beat up because we are the ones that guide their heart that's asleep. I am asleep, and my heart is awake, or whatever it says. Oh man, that was some good stuff right there, guys. All right, so that's all for today. I don't know why that happened. I told you it was coming down. There's just no way about it. It was just there was too many words there that were weird that needed looked up. I asked my heart. That's what it was. My heart. I did what that was case in point. Heart, what are we doing? Well, we got a verse where we don't know the words. We got to break it down.